Hello, and welcome back to Invitation to Puzzles, where today I have a Kurotto for you from Bachelor Seal, who is one of my favorite pencil puzzle constructors. So let's have a look at how Kurotto works. So we're going to read the rules real quick. We need to shade some cells. Cells with circles are unshadable, circles of any kind. And a number in the circle indicates the sum of the size of all blocks that share at least one border with it. And so I think here it's a genre where it's really helpful to look at what a finished puzzle looks like. So I've got that for you. If I'm going to just check it's actually on screen, I've got that for you here. So there's a circle that's saying there's no shaded cells next to it. This one's saying you have 6 total size of blocks, which is the total of that 2, the 1, and the 3. This 4 is the total of the 1 and the 3. This 2 is counting the 2 alone. And so forth. Okay, so, and the shaded circles just have an unknown size. Okay, so let's start with this 5. It needs to connect to blocks whose total sum is 5. Well, it can't do that unless it's connected to a block. So this is part of a block. And now this cell can't be shaded, or we're claiming that 3 is at least 5 because we know that this block has size 5, right? We just know it flat out has size 5 because it touches the 5. Well, I'd need to throw in a block of size -2 if I shaded that to touch the 3. That's not going to work. So actually, our block of size 5 is now almost forced, but not quite completely. Now, for similar reasons, playing the 6 against the 3, I know that this cell must be shaded. And if you haven't done this genre before, this might not be the first, second, or third thing you see, because there's some other things that one could see. But if this cell's unshaded, that means the 6 block goes here. And notice that immediately makes the 3 block have size at least 6, if not more than 6. So that's definitely also shaded. It's probably not the most useful. I'm going to pick up the other things like this 4, notice, needs to get a shaded cell, much like the 5 did. And now I can't shade this, or both the 4 and the 5 now have a size 6 thing. That's not good. So the 5 will go ahead and finish, and notice the solver here will be very convenient and tell us that. This 4 needs to grow some more. This 3 now needs a clue, which can only go there. And I can't join it with the 6 for the previously mentioned reason that 3 and 6 are different numbers. Now, I actually know if I do a little bit of math that this block is size 3 because 3 equals 3. And therefore, this block is also size 3 because 6 minus 3 equals 3. And I do that math not to torture you with subtraction, but to say that I can't shade this cell, because if I did, I would be saying 3 equaled 2, or was at least smaller than or equal to 2. Okay, so that actually finishes this, because it needed to be size 3. That actually finishes that 2 right away. That now finishes this 1 right away. This 3 we know grows at least 1 and doesn't take the cell next to the 2 for lots of reasons, including that 3 and 2 are different. And now this 2 needs to finish, and it finishes like that. This 3 grows. That 1 finishes over here like that, at least we know. Okay, this 3 needs to grow. Remember, this is part of that 3, which is also part of the 6. And it can't take this cell, or I would be putting a 3 size block next to a 2, which I can't. I can go down here and do that 2 needs a shaded cell. And it needs a second shaded cell, a second shaded shell, a second shaded cell, dear Lord, which is either going to be that one or that one. I suspect it's going to be that one, but who knows? But anyway, we know that that is now shaded because this 3 still needs to finish, but now the 3 is finished. This 6, though, isn't finished, so it's going to grow. It's going to make its own block of size 3. So like the other 6, this is going to be a 3 plus 3 kind of 6, which means that cell's not shaded because this 2 is not a 3 plus minus 1 kind of 2. And so this 2 needs to get its friend over there, which finishes that piece. This 6 needs to grow. This 4 needs to grow, in fact, and it's done. This 5, though, still needs a block, and that block is going to have size 1, actually. And now this 3 needs a block, which is going to have size 2. See, this 3 is going to need a block. I'll take this moment right in the middle of the solve, just in case you're watching this, to encourage you to like the video if you have not. Do please like the video. I always ask that at the end, but probably people skip me saying it at the end, so I should say it in the middle. But I'm not good at this, so we have to do that. Anyway, this 5 is now adjacent to a block that we know to have size 3. In fact, let's just finish the block that we know to have size 3. But the 5 needs a block of size 2, which has to be exactly those 2 cells in order to finish. This 5 also needs a block of size 2, but who knows what to do with that. This 3, though, is done. So now that's part of the block of size 2. This block of size 2 can't grow here because if it does, it makes the 5 unfillable. Because remember, if the 2 grows here, these 2 both become unshaded. And now this 5 is adjacent to a 3 block and no other block. So the 2, in fact, finishes there. And now the 5's 2 block looks like that. Now let's see, this 3 block looks like that. And yeah, it tells us we're done. I always like to finish. The 3 block, though, is done, and there's nowhere else that we don't know whether it's shaded or not. So we are well and truly done, and we've actually verified we're done. This is a genre, by the way, that I like a lot. It has like the sort of a subset of genres that sort of feel very distinctive to me and don't sort of blend into the bunch of assorted other genres. This is one that sort of has a very weird kind of counting, but that I very much enjoy. So I hope you also enjoyed that. Again, please leave a comment down below that says how awesome I am. I really appreciate those. And I'll see you next time on Invitation to Puzzles. Bye for now.